Someone must have told Southern California that we were making action sports history tonight because she is showing off blue skies and a whole lot of south swell for those who like to stand sideways on the surfboard. But we are adjacent to SoFi Stadium, of course, the home of the Los Angeles Chargers and the Rams, and right next door is a place called COSM, where many come to watch sports broadcasts in 18K. Today, we have transformed it into a place of history to launch the MoonPay X Games League. The very best action sports athletes from around the world have literally flown in from around the planet hoping to have their name picked and be the ones that can say, I was the first one to walk on that stage and set the tone for the future of the X Games. Hey everybody, my name is Salema Masekela, and it is my high honor to welcome you to the first ever MoonPay X Games League draft. You know, I was standing on the vert ramp in 1999 when Tony Hawk did the trick that was heard and seen around the world, the 900. And in that moment, action sports and skateboarding went from niche to mainstream. There were many kids around the world who watched that moment who suddenly became interested and wanted to learn how to skate, how to ride bikes, how to ride dirt bikes. Innovation and progression have, of course, been the theme of X Games this entire time, and now there are hundreds, if not thousands of kids performing around the world at the highest level. And the X Games that we knew then can't really contain the X Games that we have now. There is a place now for this next generation, and it is called the MoonPay X Games League. And tonight is the inaugural draft. So what does that mean, Salema? Well, here are the basic rules. We have 180 athletes that are trying to find a space on 4 different clubs: Tokyo, New York, and Los Angeles being 3 of them, and Sao Paulo, Brazil. Skateboard and BMX, of course, are the main thrust, but within that team roster, you have 5 men and 5 women, and 3 of those athletes will need to be BMX athletes. We will get into all of what that means. It's like kind of like the NBA Cup within the NBA, and I welcome in right now Jimmy Coleman and Brandon Graham. The energy, gentlemen, as we're here making this history. Your thoughts, Brandon?
It's palpable. I can taste it here at COSM in Los Angeles. You know, don't mind us over here. We're just completely transforming the landscape of competitive action sports. For stick and ball sports, draft day is a rite of passage. Right. So for 40 athletes to hear their names called today to represent one of the 4 clubs, the inaugural season of XGL, this is life-changing, Jimmy.
You know, and it's not just about picking a team for success this year. We had a chance yesterday to talk to all 4 of the managers. It's about building a brand. It's about paving the way for that next generation. And all of them said the same thing in their own words. They're like, hey, I want kids watching at home to see this and say, hey, I want to ride, I want to skate for that team when I get the chance when my name gets called.
I just saw about 6 or 7 young girls about 7 or 8 years old doing kickflips for the cameras.
It's happening behind us.
And I was like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, this is the future. This generation is going to look at the league as a pathway to what it means to be a professional in action sports. That said, what are you guys expecting tonight?
Yeah, for me, what I find interesting is we have 4 very uniquely qualified general managers that are each respectively running their club. And it's how are they thinking and strategizing on assembling rosters?
Yeah, and strategy is key. You mentioned that there's 5 men, 5 women per team. You must have at least 3 BMX athletes. However, yes, you want to pick winners. You want to pick people that are best suited to get on the podium. However, you have to look at the totality of the disciplines in the 3 stops this season. You want people that are competing in multiple things to give you the maximum amount of points you can possibly get.
And with that, we will go to our X Games research, sort of our Mel Kiper board, if you will, of our top picks. You see Arissa True, more gold medals than any woman in action sports, and of course, Tom Nahr.
Yeah, I look at this athlete list and I think they've nailed it. When you think about star power, when you think about gold medal threats every time they compete in an X Games, and you think about the amount of events. Who's better than Arissa True in vert best trick, in park best trick? Arissa True, to me, is a perfect candidate to be a #1 overall pick.
I'm going to throw one little nugget out there. You look at those names, and there's only one BMXer on there.
I knew Jimmy had to go there.
I got to take up for my people, man. He's an all-terrain machine. And going back to my point about how you want someone that competes in multiple disciplines, that's a guy that's got a gold in all of them across the board for all of them that are at least that are in here for X Games League in 2026.
All right, well, it's not just the three of us that are going to be guiding you through this historic night here at X Games. The fourth member of our team, Amy Fuller. Give us the temperature inside COSM tonight.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Now, I have to say, it feels a little bit like I'm in the pit lane. The who's who of action sports is here, and there's this anticipation, this excitement as we step into the unknown, the future here with X Games League. Now, I have to say, looking to my right, we've got Sky Brown. Over to my right again, we've got Ryan Sheckler. Boys, everybody is here, and it is about to pop off. If you're not here, what are you doing?
Thank you very much. My earpiece fell out. Thank you, Amy. She flew literally all the way across the pond tonight. And with that, our CEO, Jeremy Bloom, is ready to announce our first picks and welcome us.
Welcome. What's up, LA? How you feeling? Nearly 30 years ago, the X Games changed sports forever. It gave a global stage to athletes who didn't fit the mold. Self-described outcasts, misfits, rebels. Kids inventing tricks in empty parking lots, on frozen mountains, and on backyard ramps. And along the way, we witnessed moments that defined generations. Tony Hawk's 900, Bob Burnquist's perfect vert run in Philly, Travis Pastrana's double backflip at a stadium just 5 miles down the road from where we are tonight. Arissa True breaking the record for the most women's skateboard golds at the ripe age of 16. Moments that didn't just change action sports, they changed sports, period. But tonight isn't about looking back. Tonight is about the future. Welcome to the MoonPay X Games League draft, live from Los Angeles at COSM. For the first time in the history of action sports, the best skateboarders and BMX riders in the world won't just compete as individuals, they'll compete as teammates, representing cities, building rivalries, and fighting for a season championship. 4 teams, 4 iconic cities, and 4 legendary general managers. X Games Club São Paulo. What up, Bob Burnquist? You ready? X Games Club Los Angeles. I see you, Hayes. X Games Club New York. What up, Steve Rodriguez? And X Games Club Tokyo. What up, Harumi? 40 roster spots are up for grabs tonight. 20 men and 20 women. Each team will draft 5 men and 5 women, the first co-ed league where men and women compete together on the same teams. Yeah, give it up. $5 million on the line through salaries and health insurance stipends and prize money for these athletes. Nobody is investing more into action sports and putting more money in the pockets of these incredible athletes than the X Games. To the more than 50 athletes here in this room tonight, thank you. You flew here from all over the world to help us launch the next chapter in action sports. And tonight is your night. You are the new pioneers. To our founding league partners, Monster Energy, who's been with us for over a decade, and our newest partner, MoonPay. Thank you for believing in this vision and supporting the dreams of the greatest action sports athletes on the planet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's build this league. X Games Club New York, you are officially on the clock.
I got a little bit of chills.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of chills in my body. That was crazy. Like, Jeremy Bloom just like kind of outdid Roger Goodell and was like, X Games is here, and we're launching this league. I love the fact that he mentioned and brought up that this is the first time in history that there is a league of top professional men and women playing together on the same team, which brings us to the point we were talking about at the start of the show. That first draft pick and the high draft picks, it can go either way. The value is there at the same level.
Yeah, and etched in history to think 1-1, the very first pick in the very first XGL draft. That is so special. New York being on the clock, I would be curious with you two gentlemen, knowing Steve Rodriguez, what he brings to the table as a GM, what is he looking for with this #1 pick?
Well, having our private conversations with the GMs yesterday, he seemed to have a clear path, especially with that first pick, as to what he wanted to do. Talking to all 4 of them today, that strategy seems to have shifted a little bit. The fact that they're waiting now, almost half of their time has elapsed, and they haven't put that pick in yet, and they're still talking it over, that tells me that maybe his strategy is completely shifted as well.
We shall see. I mean, Steve Rodriguez, for context, a legend when it comes to East Coast skateboarding, especially New York skateboarding, a real pioneer in helping to build the culture through the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, a legendary brand called Five Borough. He is someone who is still out there in the streets skating with the young people. And what he talked about is that he wants this team to be reflective of that energy. New York, of course, being a city of immigrants. He talked about the fact that 800 languages are spoken there. He said, there's not a lot of athletes that are in this pool that are from New York, but he said we can embody New York.
Right, melting pot, right, was the word he used. And when you think about New York, and we wondered how regionally specific is each team going to be thinking when it comes to the picks, especially when you think about Sao Paulo representing Brazil and the rich talent of Brazilian skaters, and the same with Tokyo and Japan. And you wondered if Steve going to take that same philosophy when it comes to New York, and I'm just really intrigued to see what he goes here. Knowing his background, I feel like street skateboarding has to be the play, but I don't know.
All right, I've just been informed that the pick is in, the first ever pick in X Games League history.
With the first pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, New York selects Chloe Covell.
That's what he said he was going to do, but why did it take so long to make that decision?
I think there was some gamesmanship, some showmanship from Steve Rodriguez. Congratulations to the 16-year-old Chloe Covell. Now, I don't want to be, I told you so, but going into tonight, I thought Arissa True or Chloe Covell had a really good chance to be the first overall pick. Why? At just 16 years old, Chloe's got 8 X Games medals. She has won the street contest 5 times before, 4 in the traditional contest and 1 in best trick. Simply put, Salema, there is no one better in women's skateboard street than Chloe Covell.
I mean, you see the B-roll, right? She's innovating and taking women's skateboarding in a whole nother place with the flip in, flip out tricks, the switch tricks. She also has that tenacity that Steve talked about.
After she left us in Salt Lake City in 2025, she also hasn't missed a podium since, and most recently, at Street League in Sydney, she just came out with a 3rd place, and that was just last month.
How about the jersey, Salema? We're getting to unveil the club jerseys with that New York uniform.
The history that was just made in the first X Games League pick, being like a woman who is not just the future of women's skateboarding, but really part of the future of the entirety of what this next chapter of skateboard culture looks like. Amy Fuller is with the history-making Chloe Covell.
history making. It is just that at 16 years old, you've made history already in your career, but now here at X Games League, not only the first athlete, the first female athlete picked in the draft. How'd you feel?
I'm like lost for words. I'm so excited. It's like, yeah, it was like really nervous. I was really nervous, but yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm excited for us to come.
I mean, how cool is that? You have just been picked first out of all of the athletes in the room. That is mega.
Yeah, I'm super grateful. Like, I definitely didn't think that was gonna happen, but that happened. It's amazing. It like shows all the hard work I've put in. So yeah, hopefully I can keep doing that and do well for my team.
And just quickly, lastly, what can we expect to see from you in that team environment?
I'm just gonna work really hard, like I said. Try to get some more medals, but yeah, mainly just try my hardest, have fun with the team, and yeah, do my best.
Chloe, a massive, massive congratulations. Enjoy the night, and I wonder who's going to be on your team. Let's find out.
Thank you, Amy. I mean, that smile says it all. This is a young woman who just a few years ago, when you said, "Hey, what are you gonna do with your prize money?" She's like, "I'm gonna buy lots of candy."
Yeah, lollies, I think.
Lollies, yes, as
but
the Aussie
to be
would say.
Australian, to be representing now New York, as we said, that global powerhouse of a city here in this country, it makes too much sense. This is a young lady who was inspired by Nigel Houston, watching him skate once upon a time.
At 6 years old, she got a Nigel Houston doll at 7 years old, and that made her want to skateboard. LA is now in with their first pick.
With the second pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, LA selects Tom Shar.
I absolutely love this pick. And I don't know if you can hear it, Dre and Snoop playing on the DJ set behind. This pick is about domination. This pick is about personality. This pick is about the West Coast. Out of Cardiff, California, Tom Shar, you talk about the all-terrain vehicle that is Kevin Peraza. That is our skate version of an ATV. We've seen him in Big Air. We've seen him in Park. We've seen him in Vert, and he wins everything. He is your favorite skateboarder's favorite skateboarder.
Just look at some of these highlights from past events over the last 2 years. The sheer power that he skates with, whether it's Park, on Vert, and let's not forget about Vert Best Trick as well.
He is by far the greatest skateboarder on the planet right now. If you watch his last two video parts on YouTube, they will blow your mind. But it's not just about the style and ability. It's this fact that when it comes to competition, much like Covell, they can lock in and do things under pressure that do not make sense. But we knew that he would go early.
We've seen Tom on the X Games stage since he was 12 years old. So for it to end up in here now, being the second overall pick, representing LA, staying in Southern California, what an extraordinary moment for Tom.
It's the most perfect Los Angeles pick ever. Amy is with Tom Shar right now.
Tom Shar, congratulations. You are an absolute powerhouse, and you have just been named to your home team. Yeah. What's the feeling?
It's awesome. I'm from LA, so I mean, I couldn't be any happier about that.
Talk to me about X Games League, because this is a big time. It's a historic day for action sports.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's making it a team sport now, so we all get to kind of work together, try and come together and think of, strategies, and it's cool. There's a champion at the end of it and all. It'll be fun. Just
let us in quickly. What's your strategy?
I don't know. I'm going to try and do my part and hope everyone else does theirs, but it's cool. I mean, we're bringing together BMX and skating and everyone, so yeah, it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be fun. We've got a unit. Guys, on to the next one.
Thank you, Amy. Tokyo, of course, is on the clock. I'm biased. I come from Cardiff, from North County of San Diego, but for Tom to end up on LA, you couldn't script it any better.
Strategy's the name of the game. I mean, obviously, we said at the top of the show, you're trying to pick the best people to get to the podium or the top of the podium, but you have to think about the totality of it all. You have to have 5 men, 5 women. You have to have a minimum of 3 BMX athletes. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that we have to explain about the payouts and how all this works that we will get into after these next couple of rounds. We're going to do a deep dive as we go through this out here tonight.
Just to put a button on it for Tom, as a monster athlete, to be here in LA, to get picked, and one thing that was very important to Hayes was hey, my first pick, I don't want to just be a premium pick. I want it to be that captain. Each team will also designate a captain. And I think Tom Shar is exemplary as the leader of this team.
All right, the pick is in for Team Tokyo. Woo.
With the third pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, Tokyo selects Arista True.
Yeah, that makes too much sense. Arisa, as I said, very easily could have been the #1 overall pick in this draft. To me, it was she and Chloe neck and neck. It's just, what discipline are you more interested in? Obviously, Chloe with Street, but Arisa True, when it comes to park, when it comes to vert, Salema, you know as well as anyone, women's vert was around and then it was gone. The revival that it's experiencing over the last 3 or 4 years is because of this headliner, Arisa True, and she's just getting started.
100%. Let's not forget, you know, we talked about Tony Hawk's 900 in 1999. Arisa True did the 900, the first women's 900 on Instagram, and it went viral beyond comprehension. 9 medals. She's a competitive beast, and as you said before, 4 disciplines at her disposal in vert best trick, park best trick, but her consistency and tenacity makes sense.
Well, this is one of the picks that Harumi told us yesterday. This was one of her top 2. So we get in this next round, we'll see if she stays true to form on this one. She wasted no time in getting that pick in, though.
And one of the things that Harumi Suzuki, the manager of Team Tokyo, explained to us, she was like, you know what? Someone like Arisa, her mother's Japanese,
right.
So as she's thinking about building out the brand and the marketing for Tokyo, you have this really nice, easy storytelling that helps to build that brand, and Arisa is with Amy.
Congratulations, Arisa. Wow, you are officially an X Games League athlete representing Japan. That's got to be a good feeling, knowing your mum.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm so excited and I'm just super happy. I can't wait to see who else I'm drafted with. And like, Japan is super cool because I'm half Japanese. So that's really cool.
That has got to be the most epic setup in terms of a team, the community. In terms of teammates, what are you looking for?
I'm just excited to see, like, I want to be with my friends, people who I like love skating with and hanging out with, and like, I don't know, people who are going to push the team.
Push the team, push the limit, and good vibes. That's what we're all about here at X Games.
I love that. Have fun, but also be about that life.
But
Do the work.
9 medals, 8 of them gold, at still just 15 years old. And Lindsay Jacobellis, by the way, the all-time gold medal record holder for X Games with 10.
Yeah.
She may take that claim outright before the summer ends.
Now we are in a snake format for this draft. So 1 and 8, 2 and 7. So for Sao Paulo, they have the 4th pick as well as the next pick, the 5th pick.
This one's going to be interesting because talking to Bob yesterday.
Bob who?
Bob Burnquist.
Bob
who? Lifelong skateboarder, an absolute legend, one of the most decorated X Games athletes, and the pick is in, we're being told.
With the 4th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, Sao Paulo selects Guy Curry.
Wow.
This is a great pick, and in a lot of ways, a perfect pick for Team Sao Paulo when you think about the 17-year-old Brazilian whiz kid. Already 9 gold medals in his career. We remember when he was just 10 years old hitting that vert ramp, and we wondered, oh my, is the future now? What he has done, Salema, in the last couple of years in both vert and first best trick cannot be overstated. He is completely transforming what we thought was possible.
And he's not even, I don't even think he's maybe 50% there yet as far as a full run vert skater. Obviously, we know what he has as far as trick variation is concerned. He's got variations of the 900, the kickflip 900. He does like anyone does a 540. But the opportunity now to be under the mentorship of Bob Burnquist, who has, I believe, 17 gold medals, right? We talked about the perfect run in 2002. What that mentorship could be like for Guy is scary. And remember, in this first round, these athletes are being drafted for at least 2 seasons.
When you think about Guy Curry, this is really the first athlete, and I know Arissa's mom is Japanese, but this is the first super regionally specific athlete. Guy obviously reps Brazil everywhere he goes. This is going to be extraordinarily popular with the fans in Sao Paulo.
I also love that just outside of Tom, these are all kids that we've watched grow up from like junior high school to now being in their young adult, like, I'm here to take over phase.
He's still only 17. He's still a kid to us.
Enough of us. Amy is with Guy.
Now we have to say, first and foremost, the fit is all time, but you have just been drafted to your home team. What does it mean to be going back home?
It's an honor. I'm so excited to stay in home as well. And there's a lot more to come. And the fit worked. And I just want to thank Bob Burnquist as well for choosing me. And it's going to be amazing.
What are you going to bring to Bob's team in terms of spirit?
For sure, I'm going to bring that Brazilian hype, the Brazilian heart as well. And it's just amazing, yeah.
I think Bob has chosen a strong pick. Brazilian heart. I heard it, I can feel it, I've got goosebumps. That's what we're here for.
You, Amy, you know that Tony Hawk, who Guy Curry rides for, is for Birdhouse Skateboards, is sitting there smiling.
Think about that. Tony Hawk and Bob Burnquist.
Right.
You know, sometimes that cliche, it doesn't get better than this. It doesn't get better than that. And Guy Curry has that at his disposal. And as you said, he's probably not even 50% of the way of where he's going to be. And to still be a teenager,
I didn't really even think about that fact, but like, yeah, he
17.
17.
The door is just opening for that young man.
The second pick, the fifth pick for Sao Paulo is in, and I believe this pick has to be a woman.
In the MoonPay X Games League draft, Sao Paulo selects Sky Brown.
Oh my God!
For Bob Burnquist.
Bob just coming through with the left, right combo. Bow, bow.
Powerhouses Salema to go Guy and Sky back-to-back. Sky Brown, 17 years old, 3 X Games medals, 2 of them gold. There's been some injuries there. There's also been some time in the ocean. She's an incredibly accomplished surfer.
I mean, this is
her focus clearly now skateboarding front and center, park and vert.
Yeah, this is a young woman who was on the qualifying series in the World Surf League last year, getting a 3rd place at Bolito. That's points that were moving her towards being on tour, and we weren't sure which she was going to pick. She's now clearly made the statement, at least for the next few years, skateboarding is going to be her main focus. She's on the same team with Guy Curry, and Bob Burnquist is the manager. He could not have executed a better one, too.
You mentioned her X Games medals. She also holds 2 bronze medals in the Olympics for Paris and Tokyo, and she also finished big last weekend at the Worlds.
Sky.
Yeah, and if I'm thinking about from a marketing standpoint, 1.3 million followers on Instagram also doesn't hurt. Sorry, I stepped on you there, bro.
Possible merch sales.
But Sky Brown really hit the ground running on the X Games stage in park, and it was like, oh wow, the future of park skateboarding is Sky Brown. And then she battled some injuries, and we actually didn't see her on X Games stage for a couple of years. And the rivalry that we've seen between she and Arissa True in this discipline has been absolutely outstanding to watch. I can't wait to see it, and I believe she is with Amy.
We are here, we are vibing. Sky Brown, congratulations. You have just been drafted at X Games League. What are you going to bring to your new team?
Bring some medals, hopefully. Super stoked to be picked by Bob in Sao Paulo. I mean, love Sao Paulo. I was just there and became world champ, so super special. But yeah, I just want to bring excitement and joy and some medals.
And now talk to me about your skating. What can we expect to see from you in this team event coming up very, very shortly?
Power, style, just I want to bring as much as I can. So you're going to see some very big moves, hopefully.
Love it. Big moves, power and style. Sky Brown, a massive congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's on the rest of the team.
Thank you, Amy. I was literally going to reference power and style, and then Sky was like, "I'll do it myself." So and that's what when people talk about her throughout skateboarding, and I'm talking about the greats. It's like there's no better combination across the landscape, men or women, of power and style. Maybe Tom Shar, but she's on par when in park.
And just to put a button on that, her surfing is always on display when she hits the park. Her style, to me, is better than anyone else in women's skateboard park.
You saw that in that B-roll. I mean, that front side bone out 360 that she does, she just kind of flat spins out going over the box.
Yeah.
That is absolute money.
Very, very cool.
Right
also
there.
a DJ, so should be good for team morale. No BMXers picked as of yet.
That is interesting. We may see that change here. To your point, you said that Bob had to pick a female athlete. Whatever you pick in the first round, the next round you have to alternate. So if you pick a female, you have to pick a male, and vice versa. So
all right, Tokyo,
this will be a male athlete.
With the 6th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, Tokyo selects Sora Shirai.
Wow! I gotta be honest with you.
Didn't see it coming.
I love this pick. Sora is so good. 3 X Games medals in just 4 appearances, but we've only really seen him at X Games in Japan. I believe he's done 1 domestic one. So methinks if you're making this investment, especially this early in the draft, you're anticipating him skating at all of the events. Technical wizardry.
Yeah,
the way I best describe
that
Sora.
frontside cab 270 is ridiculous. Cab 270 back tail. I mean, yeah, he is a tech wizard. Best trick, you think of him immediately as vying for a possible medal?
Yeah, Salema, the last time we saw him, which was in 2024 in Chiba, winning that gold, there were a lot of talented skateboarders, a lot of household names in that contest, and he was far and away the best. Now, we've seen that Japanese talent, whether it be Yuto or a Jinwoo. Sora is in that line. He's 24 years old, but still, I think his best skateboarding, his best competitive skateboarding is still in front of him.
To your point about that 1 domestic appearance, you got to go back to US Bank Stadium. We saw him for the first time, 2019 Minnesota, and that was the street bronze.
We see a shot of the winningest medalist at X Games, Nigel Houston, who is still on the board.
This is fascinating.
As well as our Willie. I mean, Ryan Williams probably has more disciplines
We haven't seen a
than anybody.
BMXer come off the board yet.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. I would have thought by now R. Willie or Kevin Peraza would have heard their names called. But to your point, Nigel Houston, I mean, you're talking about prime LeBron James, truly street skates GOAT, sitting there. I did not expect him to not have heard his name called yet.
I never thought that I would ever say this. And look, someone's going to pick him. He's not getting left off the board. But Nigel Houston, being 31 years old, suddenly, a kid that we literally watched grow up at X Games from around 12, 13 years of age, is compared to these young kids, I mean, he's still taking it to them, but it leaves the question of longevity in this 2-year cycle, especially with skateboarding. This guy's coming off of perhaps one of the worst street slams we've ever seen. He was concussed 5 weeks ago, somehow is skating in the PSL, but the injuries start to add up. He's had the wrist, he's had the knees.
That's totally fair, but also, again, we have to consider all the criteria that each of these GMs are looking at, right? With Nigel Houston, you have the resume. No one's better in the history of X Games in street skateboard discipline than Nigel Houston. He's still a threat every single. We're less than a year. We're 2 years removed from his last gold medal, right? And he goes head to head with whoever he's competing with. But also, you talk about the popularity. You talk about the social reach. You talk about everything he brings to the table.
Someone's picking him for sure. A pick is in. LA.
With the 7th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, LA selects Liz Akama.
Wow. Liz Akama and Tom Shar on the same team for LA.
17-year-old Liz Akama, owner of 6 X Games medals, yet to find that gold, but she wins everything else. And I just think she's as good as it gets in women's skateboard street. She's had some epic battles with Chloe Covell, and I still think the best is yet to come from this 17-year-old.
Let's not forget the fact that she won silver at the Olympics in Paris in 2024.
first at Street League in Vegas in October of last year as well.
We didn't see her last summer at X Games due to an ankle injury, but she's just so consistent in a discipline that demands it. I think she is neck and neck with Chloe when you talk about consistency. So I think this is a really special talent. And again, the teenage youth movement continues out here. We talked about Nyjah and our Willie sitting there, and I'm seeing a lot of teenagers getting their names called here early in this draft.
You mentioned that ankle injury, that Street League win in October of last year. That was the first contest back after that ankle injury.
You know, and she's talked about what an honor it is for her to be at X Games and what it would mean to one day win a gold. And Hayes, Charlie Hayes, and the manager of Los Angeles, talked about how she wanted athletes with that type of mindset. Like, does this mean more to you than all the other things that are taking place in action sports? You know, we're here talking about this draft, but these athletes are competing in other leagues. They're filming video parts. There are so many strains amongst them. I think the big question for a lot of these managers is, and even when we talk about Nyjah, is can this be your main priority?
That's the thing. You look at all of the events that within your sport, within your discipline that go on throughout the course of the season. You have to factor in stress, that travel, the jet lag for some of these events, because truly this is a global spectrum these days. And then on top of that, the injuries. You have to look at everything. There's so much that goes into this.
They want hungry dogs. Who's out there that wants it and it's got that appetite for, I want to compete in every event, I want to win every event. But remember, we can get into the format throughout this broadcast. Winning is great, but getting those points, especially if you have multiple starts and you're in multiple disciplines, matter just as much.
That's a conversation you brought up yesterday about Bryce Wettstein.
Yes.
It's like, hey, you've got someone out here that competes in one event and they're pretty good lock for the podium, but then you have someone like Bryce who's across the board and she's in that consistent spot. You know she's going to get points, and with multiple disciplines, she's a lock to get you those points, and you know that it's going to come in every event.
Yeah, if I was a manager, Bryce Wettstein is someone who I would pick up because she's good for 4th through 6th in pretty much every event. You got her in park, you have her in vert, best trick in both. Not to mention the mood and vibe.
Possible
butterfly wings. All right, the last pick of the first round is about to be in with New York.
With the 8th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, New York selects Nyjah Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, I wondered.
There goes that man.
I wondered if this was going to be the time we would hear that name called, and it was.
Owner of 26 X Games medals, 15 of them gold. We use the term GOAT with a lot of athletes. That is truly the greatest of all time when it comes to skateboard street. Simply put, Salema, he is on the Mount Rushmore, period, when it comes to X Games athletes.
When it comes to skateboarding, period, especially X Games, and there is no one in skateboarding who has the technical ability and the ability to summon tricks that don't make sense in a contest consistently. I was watching him in the PSL this weekend. At a certain point, he went 10 tricks, 10 for 10, back to back to back to back, not chill tricks. This is a power move for New York.
Remember the mid-2000s, Nyjah was winning everything.
He's on the same team as Chloe Covell.
You just got the 2 best pound for pound street skateboarders on your team. And in New York with Steve Rodriguez, are we surprised? Truly.
Power move.
To get Nyjah the last pick of the first round?
Let's hear from Nyjah.
Nyjah, congratulations. Now, you have witnessed the evolution of skateboarding firsthand. To be here tonight, to be picked, what do you think this X Games League is going to do for the sport?
I think it could do a lot for the sport. You know, we'll see, but I've always said that skateboarding and action sports needs more love as far as getting more eyes on it, behind the competitions, getting some bigger sponsors behind it. So I think stuff like this really helps out, and man, you love to see it. You love to see it.
And as a community, having BMX and skate come together, where do we think it's going to go from here?
I have a ton of respect for the BMX guys. I always say that there's only a select few sports throughout the world that are as dangerous as the stuff that myself as a skateboarder, someone who skates really big rails and whatnot, and the BMX guys, like, it's straight death-defying stuff. So I have a ton of respect for those guys, and it's gonna be sick to see who I'm on a team with out there. So looking forward to it.
And in terms of strategy, when it comes to teams, you're definitely, I think it's fair to say, one of the older athletes.
Yeah.
So you're going to be in the game for a few more years. But do you think it will add value to have some younger members to your team that maybe you can mentor?
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm down to be a coach out there. I definitely bring some experience, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, being one of the older guys out there really just makes me thankful to still be in this position and to still get drafted and to be out there still competing. So yeah, a lot to be thankful for.
Nigel, congratulations and a big thank you for everything you have done for Action Sports. Keep shining.
Appreciate it.
Guys, over to you.
X Games League.
Well, for sure, we got to see Nigel breathe a sigh of relief. Will our Willie be able to breathe a sigh of relief in the next round? No BMXers picked yet. It's definitely going to happen in this next round. Stick around. MoonPay X Games League Draft. The MoonPay X Games League Draft is brought to you by MoonPay, the official payment platform of the MoonPay X Games League. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. 805 Beer, properly chill. Stake, exclusive online casino and sports betting partner.
To begin round 2, LA is on the clock.
Welcome back to the MoonPay X Games League Draft. You see some of the stars tonight on the red carpet. A lot of excitement amongst these athletes as they're really digesting and appreciating the scope of what tonight means. Take a look at the best available. These are the drafted athletes so far. Covell, of course, making history going first. Tom Shar, Arissa Truki Curry, Nigel Houston going at the end of the first round there. But we wonder now. We look at the board, you got two BMXers right off the bat that make a lot of sense in Ryan Williams and Kevin Peraza. You got to think they're going to go in this round. And then you just get to appreciate also, you know, you've got Sandoval there, and then the depth of Japanese talent.
They're coming. You surprised, Jimmy? No BMXers in the first round?
I'm surprised by that from the pure and simple fact of the talent level, especially with Ryan Williams and Kevin Peraza. And let's throw Daniel Sandoval in that conversation as well, because that guy park best trick, dirt skills as well, dirt and dirt best trick. And we heard the strategy from all 4 managers. A couple of those names were high on their list in those opening 2 rounds.
I think that there's a handful of skateboarders that made sense because they had a bunch of disciplines and consistently can get you points. And the manager mindset I'm from our conversations yesterday is the BMXers are going to be there, and hopefully I'm in the right place to get Peraza or Sandoval or our Willie in the second round. But I think skateboarding, because it is a deeper pool, people wanted to feel safe in their picks early.
Well, one manager in particular yesterday told us that Kevin Peraza was going to be a high pick and mentioned specifically about him being the team manager, the leader, with his attitude and his energy and spirit.
All right, LA pick is in. Will there be 2 wheels?
With the 9th pick in MoonPay X Games League Draft, LA selects Felipe Mota.
Wow.
Okay.
And the run of skateboarders continues, gentlemen. I am shocked that we still haven't had a BMXer, but I am not shocked with this pick. Felipe Mota is a sneaky selection here. I really like this Brazilian skateboarder, a 19-year-old who's got a gold and a silver, 1 gold in best trick, going head-to-head with Nigel Houston last year. Just watch how difficult his trick selection is and how easy and casual he makes these tricks look. I think Felipe Mota is just getting started. To me, Salema, this is a pick that is geared towards the future as much as the now.
Yeah, that heel flip front blind slide in Ventura 2 years ago, that hurt a lot of people's feelings. Of course, he rides for Primitive, and he's tutored under the legend P-Rod Paul Rodriguez. And you said that at the top there, 19 years of age. And that was one of the things Charlie talked about, was about being able to have longevity in that long game in a pick.
I think it's really interesting, Jimmy, is that Nigel was the last pick of the first round at 31 years old, who's been skating at X since he was 11 years old. And then you've got 19-year-old Felipe Mota, who's been going head-to-head with him the last couple of years, being that very next selection, the first pick of the second round. But I have to believe a run of BMX is about to happen.
You mentioned Ventura 2 years ago. That was a bronze medal, and then that gold just came not too long ago in Salt Lake City last year. Let's get it down to Amy Fuller.
Felipe, Brazil to LA, you've just been named to the Los Angeles team. What's the feels?
It feels amazing to be drafted, you know, also on the second round too, so I'm happy to walk and, like, you know, grab the jersey and everything. And it means a lot to me. I live in LA, and I'm going to be representing it, so.
What can we expect to see from you this season within the league in terms of tricks? Because you're known for some big hitting stuff.
Yeah. You guys can expect the most from me. It's like we say, we've been locked in, you know. You guys going to see a lot of new tricks, and can't wait till the season starts.
For those that are new to action sports, describe what the term locked in means.
Locked in, it means we training hard, you know, so.
You heard it. That is exactly what you want as a teammate, someone that's going to be training hard. You know what? I'm going to lock myself in.
Exactly.
You guys mentioned his youth at 19 years old. He's not that far removed from, it was only 12 years old when him and his dad moved here to California from Brazil because his dad believed in his dream of supporting his skateboard
And that was
career.
something that Hayes, the GM, told us, the spirit of Southern California. That is an important criteria box for her. And we know that he's from Brazil, but as he said, I am proud to be from LA and repping this team. That's got to be special.
Yeah, and also shout out to Amy Fuller, absolutely killing it with the energy. Also a legendary athlete herself as a former professional snowboarder. And Tokyo is back on the board.
The 10th pick in the MoonPay X Games League Draft, Tokyo selects Kevin Peraza.
Hey!
All right, one of my two-wheel friends is on the board, finally.
Also, Harumi got what she wanted.
In the second round.
In the second round.
That's what we call value.
The Tokyo manager, Harumi Suzuki, said, I really want Kevin Peraza. He will fit Japan. In the modern Tokyo being this very international city, she wanted him, and she got really lucky.
Yeah, for him to go in this late, I thought he'd go quicker, but there, take a look at some of the highlights. This is from 2 years ago at X Games Ventura. I called him an all-terrain vehicle earlier. He's got BMX Dirt Gold, BMX Park Gold. He owns 2 of those. He's got Park Best Trick Gold. How many of those? 3. He's got the trifecta there. And oh, just a couple of years ago in Ventura, he decided to add Street Golds to those lists. So he covers all the bases right there.
He does. Also, best fit right now, like with the bolo.
The bolo works for me.
The slick,
y'all know that.
Slick hair and the bolo. Harumi is beaming with joy.
It's incredible. As you said, Salema, somebody who is Mexican-American, and to be representing this international city of Tokyo, I wouldn't put it past him to learn Japanese. A father, a husband, a family man, his fellow BMX rider, R. Willie, wonders now, when is his name going to be called?
Soon. I'm with you on this. There's going to be a run on the 2-wheelers right now, but Ryan's sitting there waiting. I mean, we went to break. He said, "Pick me."
Is this our running back, wide receiver run? Like, you know, if we're going to talk about the draft, right? Where all of a sudden this happens. Maybe this is the beginning, but Amy is with KP, Kevin Peraza.
I certainly am with Kevin. The biggest smile in action sports has just got even bigger. Tokyo, Japan. I know you love Japan. What's the feels?
I don't know, I'm out of words, but I'm very blessed, very fortunate. I love being able to represent my culture, my family, you know, across the world, and being able to represent Team Tokyo at the X Games League, being a part of this club with remarkable athletes and incredible people from all over the world. Just being able to share my personality and BMX to the whole world through my smile, through my style. I love it.
And in terms of Team Tokyo, what do you think your attitude as a team is going to be as a whole?
With Team Tokyo, I think it's going to be obviously discipline, sacrificing, but mainly and mostly importantly is joy and passion. From, you know, the very devoted Japanese culture. Like, I love everything about it, so that's definitely who I am as a person. You know, it'll be sick to bring my family along the journey as well.
You heard it here, boys. What a smile.
So what that translates to is Kevin Peraza is just going to continue being none other than Kevin Peraza.
I love that. The bars that he threw out there. With my style, with my smile. Oh, quick pick is in. Sao Paulo.
With the 11th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, Sao Paulo selects Ryan Williams.
Here comes the run on our 2-wheel friends. The wait is finally over, R. Willie. Take that long walk down the red carpet and go join Bob Burnquist. Oh, and he's going to do a shoey.
He's doing a shoey.
For those of you that don't know, he's a staple on the Nitro Circus Tour, and that is
an Australian.
That is a rite of passage for Nitro Circus as well as Australians.
11 X Games gold medals. Remember, his background was in scootering. Didn't know what he was going to be capable of on a BMX bike, and within a year, he became a gold medal threat every single year now.
He is this generation's Travis Pastrana.
Yes.
And when I say that, it's inability, right, to do things we've never seen before, but his personality is contagious. Yes. So that right now, Bob just welcomed in this like super star power that washes this exciting star power. I mean, look at him on there on stage. He's hugging Bob. He's fired up. He sat in his seat being like, come on, guys. It's me, Mike.
You mentioned that he is this generation's Travis Pastrana. That's fitting because they spend a lot of time together on the road. But he does things that are just unthinkable. It's video game style tricks, and this guy does not know how to take his foot off the gas pedal when it comes to competitiveness.
We talk about innovation a lot, but I just don't know who is pushing progression in real time more than Ryan Williams.
No one. You just saw the highlight reel. We casually forget that he did a triple backflip in Salt Lake City. Like, he only believes, he has a mindset of like, I can't just do what everyone else is doing. It's that Travis energy. I gotta show up and do what no one's done before. Amy.
I am with man of the moment, Ryan Williams. Now, shoo-wee. Shuey.
Shuey, your turn.
I was wondering, seeing as that's very much an Australian thing, and I'm very British, I was wondering if you could teach me how to do a Shuey, and would you do one from
Wait, I'm doing it from your heel?
my pink heel?
Nah,
yeah.
You're doing it from your Sorry, tip it that way, up there.
We're going to put that on the floor.
Boring.
You've just been drafted.
Yeah.
Give me the feels.
Look, you put me on Guy Curry's team. That's gosh, I know which team's winning now. Let's go, Guy. But yeah, I'm just stoked. Bob Burnquist has been an idol of mine, actually. They asked me outside, what's a magical moment at X Games? And I said Bob Burnquist, when he won that vert contest on the Ultimate X movie, that was one of the most amazing moments, because it was like, he just pulled it together, got the win, and that's what we're going to go. That's what we're going to do. Let's go, Brazil.
Ryan Williams, thank you so much. Bring in the Shuey vibes to X Games.
Thanks, boys.
I mean, can we throw it back to Amy? Let's see the pink Shuey. You're making history.
Yeah, we gotta
Amy.
pay that off.
Come on, Amy.
At some point
Shoe is one thing, but to do it out of somebody else's shoe, that's a different level right there. I don't know.
But this is what we talk about with what he brings energy-wise, right? Like, that's contagious. That spreads through the team. It's a good balance, too.
Yes,
with Guy and his seriousness, as if we have a pick coming through. New York.
With the 12th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, New York selects Hannah Roberts.
Hey! 3 BMXers in a row. It's our first female BMXer to go off the list out here tonight, and it's Hannah Roberts getting the call.
Two events this has been run now. Women's BMX Park. 2 gold medals for Hannah Roberts. There's a lot of dominant athletes out here tonight. I don't know that there's one athlete more dominant in their respective discipline right here, right now, than Hannah Roberts.
You know, and we've only had the opportunity to showcase the women's field at BMX Park for the last 2 years. We did it the last year we were in Ventura in 2024, and last year in Salt Lake City. And I'm very excited to announce to everyone tonight, they will be at all 3 stops this year. They will be in Sacramento, Women's BMX Park will be in Japan, and they will be in New Orleans as well.
That jersey looks good on her. I'm biased, but I think the New York jersey has the hottest colors. There are 6 different variations for each team in what the merch looks like. But yeah, Hannah Roberts is her. You know, gold medal in 2021 in the Olympics. And her mindset is she feels like at X Games in the park, she's actually just cruising and kind of exploring and having a good time. It doesn't look like that when she's competing. And Amy is with our first woman picked in BMX.
The first female picked. Now, you've done 2 for 2 already at X Games. My question is, this summer, can you make it 3 for 3?
I'm gonna do my absolute best, and I'm gonna, you know, I'm a competitor at heart, so I'm not a big fan of second. I'm gonna do my best to win them all and make New York proud, and that's just how it is, yeah.
Talk to me about the progression in action sports and for females, in particular with this movement and X Games League.
Yeah, I mean, with X Games League, the females are going to keep pushing, and people are going to start, you know, doing a lot more through the contest, and it's going to make, you know, my job of trying to win every event hard, but the growth and the style over the last couple of years has grown a lot, so to watch that go into X Games is going to be amazing.
Hannah, thank you so much. All the best of luck this season. We cannot wait to see you crush it.
Thank you.
We talked about her X Games accolades and the Olympics. She also happens to be a 6-time UCI World Cup champ as well. That is a pretty stacked field right there. Chloe Covell, Nyjah Houston, and Hannah Roberts.
Yeah.
Well done.
With the crispy fade, Hannah Roberts, we love it. Let's take a look at the stake draft board as we see the picks so far.
Yeah, so boys, your immediate takeaways, each team already with 3 picks in the can. I don't think you could go wrong with any of these selections, but you hit on looking at Chloe, Nyjah, and now Hannah. Dare I say, the best at each of their disciplines, almost undisputed, and you got those as your first 3 picks.
I think New York is kind of winning the draft right now.
I was gonna say, if we're handing out grades, I know it's early,
but it's
that's
still
an
early.
A+ draft.
All right. Pick is in for, I believe this is New York. Let's see if they can stay on this roll.
MoonPay X Games League draft. New York selects Logan Martin.
Wow, there is another massive massive pick in the BMX ranks
consecutive
right there.
BMX riders, Jimmy Coleman.
That is absolutely huge, and I love the kit that Logan Martin is rocking out here tonight. Like, did I just see Logan Martin walk by in a bow tie earlier? And sure enough, there he is. 15 total X Games medals, 6 gold, 6 silver, 3 bronze. This guy is an absolute trick machine. He's always a threat in park. He's always a threat in dirt. And then you throw best trick into both of those events into the mix. That is a heavy, heavy pick right there for Team NYC.
As Salema said, you know, we were talking about Bryce Wetstein as an example. Logan Martin, to me, is like even a premier concept of that, in that he's a threat every time he competes in park, but you almost are guaranteed a medal in everything that he does. As far as just the hybrid nature of his riding, I don't think it gets much better across the board than Logan Martin.
Well, let's also add an Olympic gold medal to that tally as well from 2021.
Rides with a lot of power.
It's the way that he fires off these tricks. It's like you watch how he links these things up in the park competitions. You know, you get these bowl features and whatnot, and the hits come pretty quick, and it doesn't stop there. Then you add all that, and you throw it into dirt, and I mean, look at that. The guy just throws multiple combinations in there. Let's send it down to Amy with Logan.
I am here with Logan. Not only is his fit absolutely on point, he's matching his son. Your family are watching here in the audience. What does it mean to be a part of this X Games League and have them here in the audience with you?
Yeah, I'm super stoked to be here with my family. We wanted to make this trip over. I'm excited for the change in X Games. I'm excited for this team format. Yeah, so I didn't want to miss it, and I wanted to bring my family along as well, so I'm stoked.
You've been a part of X Games history, multiple medals. In terms of now being a part of something bigger, a bigger movement, you are now on a team. How does that change things?
Yeah, it's super special. I've always, X Games has always been a big part of why I like competing. I've always wanted to compete at X Games when I was a kid, and now to be on a team, seeing this shift and being a part of the change, it's really special, and I'm stoked to be a part of Team New York.
And X Games, for those people that are maybe newer tonight, they're joining us. Why is X Games so different and so special?
There's been so many crazy moments in X Games history. It has defined action sports for years and years and years. Every kid, especially when I was younger, looked at X Games like the pinnacle sport. It has just changed. It has changed action sports over the years, and to now, to be a part of that has been pretty epic.
You've definitely been a part of it, and you have made history by being here tonight. So thank you so much, and good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Amy, and congratulations, Logan Martin, as we have another pick right in for Sao Paulo.
With the 14th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, Sao Paulo selects Ibuki Matsumoto.
Yes. This was a pick that I thought was going to be very sneaky. I thought if somebody is really thinking long-term about skateboarding right now, Ibuki Matsumoto, I had as a dark horse potential first-round pick. Why? 14 years old, 2 X Games medals, and is just already proving that she's willing to go head-to-head with Chloe Covell. So to be this young, to be this good, we saw her earn silver best trick at Salt Lake City last year. I think the sky is the limit for Ibuki.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is a really, really great call. You see that kickflip back lip side there. Pure perfection, super, super confident. And again, long game. Also the youngest pick so far. Right. We were having this conversation yesterday as to whether or not some of the 14, 13, 12-year-olds, we've got Emma at yes. 11, yes. Wondering whether or not they would get picked. This is our youngest pick so far, but I feel like 14.
Japan has clearly taken over women's skateboard street. And every year it just seems like there's 2 or 3 new names. And Ibuki was that 2 years ago, and I just feel like she's just getting started. And I see not just podium finishes in her future, I see gold medals in her future.
She's been in the top 5 in each of her 4 street starts and 2 street best trick starts. So the consistency is there, which we talked about earlier. That is key. If you don't make the podium, yeah, you want to make the podium, there's points up for grabs, but consistency. Do you keep it going? It's the totality of what you do in the span of the season.
Yeah, when you're doing a kickflip backflip like that at 14, that's pretty crazy. And she says she grew up, like, literally, she didn't grow up like with skateboarding all around her. Like, she studied it in the middle of nowhere.
But how mega is it to watch those highlights of, at that time, a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old? And, you know, we've got highlights of women's street contests that would have never dreamt of putting down tricks like that. And you're talking about a middle schooler doing that? Are you kidding me?
It's kind of absurd. It's really kind of absurd. But when you think about what Japan has built as far as the training,
yes,
and their dedication to being like, we're going to take you through the legacy of the entire sport, like study the history. It's no surprise.
Yeah.
That. All right, we'll take a look at the board at best available right now.
There's my boy Daniel Sandoval hanging out at the bottom of that list for right now. There's another guy who's up for grabs in multiple disciplines there, dirt, park, and best trick in both of those categories.
Oh, pick is in. Let's head over to the stage.
With the 15th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, Tokyo selects Mizuho Hasegawa.
Yeah. I was going to say, that seemed like, as I was looking at that board, Hasegawa seemed like the pick.
Yeah, she is not here because at 15 years old, she's actually at her middle school graduation. She elected to choose going to that over the draft. Methinks she made the right choice because guess what? While she's getting that diploma, she's getting picked to Team Tokyo. She is such a force in both park and vert. 5 X Games medals, including a gold in just 5 appearances. And similar to talking about Ibuki, what we're seeing from this young lady at just 5'3" and 15 years old is scary in both of those disciplines. And much like Arissa, she's an all-terrain vehicle and she can medal in a myriad of contests at every Summer X.
I love watching her skate because, you know, she's that young lady in a contest where after her run, she's getting herself fired up. Yeah. This little thing walking up to the edge and firing up the crowd after she does this kickflip body varial. She's got this incredible energy. And again, as we're thinking about long game at 15 years of age, with her tenacity and the fact that you get her, again, 4 disciplines, vert, park, best trick in both, strong choice.
Well, and I also think when you talk about vert, as we said off the top, it wasn't that long ago that women's vert was not happening at X Games. So of course we just have this embarrassment of young, rich talent, and she's at the forefront of that.
The learning curve is absolutely insane too. I mean, from each event that we go to, it's like, what is happening right now? And you hear the roar of the crowd at those events. I don't get to cover that stuff, but when I hear from my side of the venue, I'm like, what is going on over there on the vert ramp? And it's insane to watch.
And it is such a special time in skateboarding and for action sports because this group of very young women that have come up together, 11, 12, 13 years of age, and they've done it in this very all for one, one for all. They've been aware that they're a part of a revival, but also a pushing forward of what the entirety of skateboard culture can look like. And now to see them dominating, playing a massive part here in this inaugural draft at X Games League, it's a beautiful thing.
That's such a great point, and they're fiery competitors, but the camaraderie is so real because I think these girls even understand at this young of an age that it's going to take a village, that we as a community together are what's going to rise up this discipline, and we've been seeing it in real time the last couple of years.
At 15 years old too, it's insane. Turned pro at 13 with their first signature board with 8th Street. At 13, I started skating at 13. She's turning pro at 13. I got a signature board.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, this second round, final pick is coming in for Charlie Hazen and Los Angeles.
With the 16th pick in the MoonPay X Games League draft, LA selects Paris Bodegas.
Hey. Another women's BMXer.
This is a great pick.
Off the list, Jimmy Coleman, a silver and a bronze already in her young X Games career.
You know, this one hits close to home. I used to live in Reno, Nevada, and I've known Paris. She used to ride at my friend Gabe Weed's old skate park. I met her when she was 11 years old. She used to do BMX demos with us, and she has been around and hanging tough with the boys for a very, very long time. So to see her at X Games 2 years ago, see her in the Olympics, this one is a huge moment for me, and I couldn't be happier for Paris.
Bob Burnquist had talked about wanting her on Sao Paulo, that she would be a great pick. She's overcome some injuries. She had knee surgery a while back. Earlier this year, had to get some floaters removed from her right knee. But she says she's feeling strong, and she's excited, no doubt.
I mean, we talked about the dominance that we've seen from Hannah Roberts in these 2 years that women's BMX Park has been conducted. Paris is right behind her.
Yeah, well, for her, it's the way that she looks at the course. She's got that flow, and she kind of ticks that box when it comes to use of course. She kind of flows through there. She just does things her own way, and it's that style. She makes it look fluid. She makes it look effortless. And in 2 starts, she's got 2 medals. She got a silver in her first appearance in 2024, and she backed that up with a bronze in Salt Lake City back in June.
That smile says it all.
I don't know about you guys, but just watching these athletes walk the red carpet, getting to just embrace their GM, getting their jersey, getting to see Jeremy Bloom, and it just still feels surreal. I know we talked about it at the top of who could have ever imagined this happening, but to be sitting here right now on this night, celebrating these young athletes, watching dreams come true as we wrap up second round here at the inaugural draft. It's really special.
I'm tripping. Amy is with Paris right now.
Paris, congratulations. You have just been picked within the first 2 rounds. How's it feel? How does it compare to dropping into X Games and standing on that main stage and having your name called out?
Oh man, it's just such an amazing opportunity. Honestly, being one of the first and being with all of these athletes to experience one of the first things like this in action sports is just so amazing. I was on the edge of my chair hoping so bad that it was LA, and I got it. So I'm so hyped. I'm so excited to be a part of this team, and yeah.
What's your plans in terms of representing LA? What vibe are you gonna bring?
My vibe, the LA vibe. We're gonna this is where action sports was born. So we're doing it.
This is the hub of it. Have to say, the fit as well is so on point. LA manifestation.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, boys. Back over to you.
I like that answer. I'm bringing my vibe.
I love that, and I also love the fact that she's like, this thing is global now, but this is where it was born, and I'm going to perform and rep as such. Of course, 2 park appearances at X Games, 2 times on the podium. Thoughts so far, guys?
Yeah, this has been amazing to see the strategies unfold, and especially certain athletes that we thought, oh, maybe they'll go in the first round, or hey, these GMs told us they may take them with their first or second pick, and to get that value some of these athletes getting in the second round has been like really neat to see unfold.
I think for me, a lot of the strategies that we heard about yesterday from the different GMs that we talked to, they've kind of drifted from what they told us they were leaning towards yesterday. For a couple of them, they've just thrown that idea completely out the window from what they told us yesterday, but there's still a lot of top talent out there that is up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, they'd all run a bunch of different models, right? But of course, I think that big skateboard run at the top of Big Stars shook things up. We'll take a look as we head into break as some of the highlights here from this round 1 at the inaugural MoonPay X Games League draft, making action sport history at X Games.
will be like,
Welcome back to the MoonPay inaugural X Games League draft. As we see Amy Fuller in the pink pumps, rolling her way on the skateboard into COSM earlier today.
Earlier I was in the pits of the athlete den. Now I'm with the corral. We are in the audience and we've got everything going on here. We've just had the first round of drafts and the vibe is all time. We've got food up here. In fact, we've actually got a bit of a party going on. I'm not going to go there just yet, but I am going to take you there in a bit because I want to go and get involved.
Love it, Amy, as we take a look at the stake draft board here in round 3.
Rim Nakamura just getting selected there with Team Japan as third round starts to unfold. And Salema, royalty between us right now. I call her 1-1. The very first pick of round 1, the 16-year-old prodigy.
Listen,
Covell.
In history, forever now, everyone's like, who was the first, it'll be a trivia question, who was the first person to ever pick in X Games League draft? Chloe Covell, give her all the lollies.
Chloe, when we look at X Games and what it's meant to your career, already so dominant at such a young age, can you just put into perspective what this night culminating to what's brought you here, what it means to get drafted #1 overall by New York?
It's so amazing. Like, it's an amazing team to be a part of. Already got some great teammates, so I'm super hyped on that. And yeah, for something like a different format in skateboarding, it's so exciting because there hasn't been one for a while. So yeah, to have something new, I'm super keen to try it out.
When you think about your skateboarding and you think about what it means for New York and for street and street best trick, it just feels like you're rising to the occasion and you really revel in these moments when the stakes are the highest. Now that we're in this league format, it feels like it's going to be that on steroids. Are you really prepared to like take that on at the highest level?
So yeah, I'm so excited. As I said, it's definitely gonna be like weird to get used to because it's gonna be some like confusing but like really cool stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna try my best, try to get heaps of points for my team so I can win the championship.
When you think about, sorry Salema, but when you think about the idea of being #1, you told us off air, you go, I didn't think I was gonna go #1. I personally thought it was gonna be either you or Arissa, and you really didn't believe you were gonna go #1?
No, I actually thought it was gonna be Tom Shaw or Arissa because they're both amazing skaters. There's so many amazing athletes here, so to be #1, I'm super grateful.
Your relationship with Nyjah, and obviously when you first started skateboarding,
yeah.
He was the first thing that you saw.
Yeah.
Now, what's that like, having had that moment as a 6-year-old to now this moment with Nyjah?
So crazy, like just going to my first X Games in Chiba, Japan. I think it was 2022 maybe. Yeah, to be there and I like met him for the first time. It was so amazing, and to be now on the same team with him 4 years later, so insane.
And you just added a teammate, by the way.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah, bro, I just heard that.
is
I'm
now
so
on Team
hyped.
New York.
Oh, no way.
I don't
so
know that
excited.
it gets any better for street skateboarding at X Games League.
You guys are cheating.
New York, you guys are assembling the Avengers of street skateboarding.
Who is the god?
Wow.
I'm
incredible.
super hyped on that.
Your relationship, Steve Rodriguez as the GM, had you had contact with him leading up to this draft?
Not many, actually. I met him for the first time this morning. I was in the pool and he walked by and yeah, I met him for the first time. Really nice guy.
You guys, I'm about to change your life, young lady.
Really nice guy.
Chloe, we are excited for you. To think that you had a Nyjah Houston like action figure when you were 7, now you're on the same team with him, and now Jinwoo joining, like, it's kind of yours to lose. You got a great team. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of this night. It's been fun to watch what you've done to get here, and we're excited for where you're going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chloe.
And we got a pick in.
Erickson getting selected, the 16-year-old. Such a great ambassador for skateboarding when you think about Women's Park. She's been so close, Salema, to getting that first ever X Games medal. She hasn't gotten it yet, but that could change very quickly here. From North Shore, Oahu.
Ripping surfer.
Just a member of the Birdhouse team as well. There's just a lot to like about Lily Erickson's skateboarding and her style.
Ripping surfer, immaculate, incredible style, and as you said, she's right on the cusp of finding that next level competitively, and I think this is a really, really strong pick.
Yeah, we talk about those gold medal machines. While she's not that, we talk about the points and how this format works, Jimmy, and I think she's a fantastic candidate for this league and clearly on this team because she's going to bring, that consistency in the top 5 finishes.
Well, let's talk about the points. Her last couple of finishes at the X Games, she's got a 6th, a 5th, a 7th, and she missed the podium by 1 spot at the last one.
That ain't nothing.
You get points, anything above 8th place.
Yes.
If you're 8th or lower, you get 0. So there's points, obviously 100 points for first, but you want to be in that sweet spot of the top 7.
She's in that Bryce Westing conversation.
Whoa.
Okay.
A BMXer coming off the board here in this round. So Marcus Christopher, Jimmy.
BMX Park. That's a big pick right there. And if you're wondering, if you're watching right now and you're thinking, wait a minute, there's some big names out there. You haven't heard some of these bigger names. Remember, it's about overall disciplines. People that ride or skate in multiple disciplines obviously are going to get taken off the board first. So you're sitting there going, hey, wait a minute, why is Marcus Christopher getting picked this late in the game? That is why. It is a strategy as we roll through this out here tonight.
And I just run down what his last 3 years have looked like. First place gold, 3rd place in best trick, 3rd place in park, 2nd place in park, 2nd place in park.
Points. Consistency, big points.
Yes.
Park best trick.
Yeah. We're on a 90-second clock now.
I know, it's like there's so much going on.
As opposed to for the last round. And we'll check in right now with Amy Fuller as the pick is coming in.
I am with monster athlete Brady Baker. Now, Brady, we were chatting earlier and you had some fighting talk energy. You have a lot to offer. You've not been picked yet.
Yeah. It's crazy, it's scary. There's so many amazing athletes here, and I have a lot to bring to the table, but just up to what they're gonna do. So I'm just gonna try my best. I don't know, I'm nervous.
He is at the mercy of the general managers, and sitting here, it almost feels like you're in a pen. What's the actual energy? Take me inside the pit of your belly, because I can imagine you're, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, I'm excited, but I'm just nervous, a lot going on.
Excited, nervous energy is the vibe down here in the athletes area.
All right, so picks coming through, and what a very interesting perspective to get from Brady Baker. We've never had a draft before at X Games. This is the first ever like this in action sports, and sitting there having nerves and scared about not getting picked. We were talking yesterday, for some of these bigger athletes that could be point scorers, what kind of chips are they gonna have on their shoulders if they're not on a team come X Games?
That's such a great point, Salema. It's almost the, for the football fans out there, that Aaron Rodgers year where he just sat in the green room waiting for his name to get called. He thought he might be the first overall pick, maybe top 5, maybe top 10, and then he didn't go until the end of the first round. There are some huge names, including Brady out there, that are waiting, and this is uncharted territory for our athletes.
All right, we were talking about New York sort of, in our opinion, winning the draft so far, but look at this LA team is shaping up incredibly. Obviously, Tom Shar, Moda,
Felipe Moda, Lily Erickson, you got Paris Venegas. They just drafted Marcus Christopher, and then Liz Akama rounded out the order for right now.
Yeah, to me, of all the teams, this is the most unique one, where obviously Tom is as heavy as it gets as far as heavy hitters, but I just think there's great variety on that LA roster, maybe compared to some of the more top-heavy teams that we've seen drafted so far here tonight.
Yeah, but Charlie Hazen talked about the fact that, like, I am thinking long game. Who is going to be peaking, not just this year, this season, but 2 and season 3. She's building something.
I don't know if you guys heard that in the background, but Sao Paulo just drafted another BMXer.
No way.
Garrett Reynolds just came off the board.
Whoa!
To the point
Go watch.
To the point that I was making earlier, a lot of people on the internet, when they were talking about, or on social media, were like, hey, why isn't Garrett Reynolds high up there in these picks? That's what we were talking about, multiple disciplines, but you've got a GOAT when it comes to BMX Street right there. As a very young man, fresh out of high school, many, many years ago when he came into LA with the battles against him and Van Homan, and then put his name in the history books, and has been extremely dominant throughout his entire career. That is a big one right there for Sao Paulo.
I can't believe that I'm saying this, but like, I forgot about Garrett Reynolds. Forgot one of the absolute GOATs was in this draft. That is an incredible
Out
pick.
of Toms River, New Jersey. I mean, it was the same principle of talking about Nyjah. Is like, beyond just what you're bringing to the course, the resume is just sometimes so over the top. It's like, this is undeniable. And clearly it was for Garrett Reynolds as he gets that pick. And I believe Koko Yoshizawa just got selected.
Fourth in skate street at both Chiba 2024 and Osaka last year. A gold medalist in the 2024 Paris Olympics.
This is first at Rockstar Energy Open last weekend, last summer. This is another one of those young Japanese skaters that I actually thought might go earlier. Ibuki went in the second round, and I just look at a young lady, she very well could have as well. It's, are you committed to skating in all of the events? But she's got the goods when it comes to street dilemma.
Technical. Hard flip front board, kickflip front board. You see that blunt slide, like, just another one that's just the machine. As you look at Tokyo, Harumi talked about the fact that she wanted to build that character that felt like Tokyo, and to have Kevin Peraza with all of these really, really, really great up-and-coming Japanese riders, and have that backed up with Arisa True and Kevin Peraza for star power. This is a strong team.
That's one of the things she mentioned in our meeting yesterday. Those were 2 names that she specifically touted as saying, these are probably going to be my first 2
She had
choices.
a strategy. She said, I want 2 international powerhouses. She got those with those 2, and then build the Japanese athletes around it.
And she specifically said Arisa
and Kevin.
And she didn't pick Kevin in round 1 or 2. It had to come to, he was still out there in that 3rd round.
Incredible. She's at 4D chess from Team Tokyo.
And also 4D chess in a chess game that's never been played before. Amy, your thoughts?
Now, gentlemen, I am in the athletes area. I'm joined by Charlotte Worthington. Charlotte Worthington, Olympic gold medalist, and sat in anticipation. How are you feeling about this league?
I'm hella nervous right now, but the league is sick, and like the teams look absolutely stacked, not gonna lie. I'm so stoked for my friends that have gone up already.
And in terms of being a female in action sports and having this opportunity to potentially join a team, what do you think it's going to do for BMX?
Oh, it's going to do a ton. Like when I first started competing professionally, it changed my life, and the way that action sports has grown for women, it's opened so many doors and opportunities for women to spend all their time focusing on that sport and progress it, and we've seen the levels just go crazy. It's insane.
And so far, from what we've seen when you've been watching the picks, do you think there's a particular style of athlete they're looking for? And do you reckon you can slide into that bill?
I think they've really gone for variety, honestly. I think there's people with the park hammers like Logan and Hannah, and then Kevin is just such a wild card. He can pull out anything on the day. Same with Marcus. So I think if they're going for variety, I'm feeling hopeful, but don't get me wrong, I'm starting to grow a bit there.
Well, Charlotte Worthington, we know you have variety. We're wishing you all the best of luck. I'm nervous. I don't know about you guys.
Thank you,
Amy.
She used the term park hammers right there to describe a couple of those guys, and Logan Martin, Hannah Roberts, and Marcus Christopher.
What a great story Worthington is. You know, she didn't start riding BMX until she was 19.
Oh,
making her X Games debut here in 2026. Did I just hear Daniel Sandoval's name get called?
You heard that. You want to talk about value, Jimmy Coleman. Daniel Sandoval, many of us thought could be as high as maybe the second BMX rider, but at least the third. So we get him now in this round is extraordinary.
At the start of the show, we had Daniel Sandoval on the X Games research
the
sort
top
of hot
10,
picks. He was in there.
He was third overall in the BMX ranks. But going back to what I was talking about when we looked at some highlights of Logan Martin's career at the X Games, watch the combinations. Watch the hang time that this guy gets. It doesn't matter if it's park or it's dirt. He is all about the combination moves and the rapid fluidity with which he does these tricks, and it just. You have to watch this in replay. Like when Scotty Kramer and I are calling this stuff half the time, you have to watch it in replay to fully appreciate what is going on.
Steve Rodriguez looks like again, talk about like he said I want to build something that feels like New York. Look at that roster, Sandoval.
I'm partial to the street skaters, but I personally think Team New York right now has the highest grade for me.
I have to bring up the Sandoval story. Remember back when we were doing kind of the Backyarder series after COVID hit, and we were at the CATF out in California. They had that giant industrial fan in the ceiling over the parkours, and Daniel Sandoval was trying to do a flare double tail whip and was going so high that he almost hit the fan. He got hung up in it at one point, and he tried it time and time again. We needed to make the roof bigger for that guy.
Yeah, he's a man.
Sorry, I just had to wax Bill for a second there and tell some stories.
But did Brady Baker
just got selected. The wait is over, Brady.
Look at that relief.
We talked about the Aaron Rodgers effect, right? How long is he going to have to wait? I guess the key is just get interviewed by Amy at the start of the segment,
and maybe you'll get picked.
Here's a guy originally from New Jersey, moved to California. This is the guy that was doing the couch surf tour, sleeping on people's couches and doing school shows. He comes into Ventura, lights the place on fire, wins gold. Not only that, but he was the #1 qualifier. And the last time the #1 dirt qualifier as a rookie came in and won gold, you had to go all the way back to Ryan Nyquist.
Wow.
That's right. That was at X Games where he had kind of come off the bench.
Yep.
And literally made his name for himself there at X, like the star was born.
And what did he do after that? He backed it up with another gold medal the next year.
And Jimmy, you said it, the New Jersey transplant, he actually is from Toms River, the same town as Garrett Reynolds. Actually went to the same high school 10 years later. But wow, something in the water in Toms River.
Nice pick by Charlie Hazen in Los Angeles.
Look at that lineup.
I like that lineup's getting stronger.
So to be curious, with 3 more picks for them, do they pick another BMXer? Remember, you only have to have a minimum of 3.
Right.
And remember, as we go through this, your team has to be balanced with 5 men and 5 women, regardless of the sport.
That's a great question. There's a minimum of 3, but will someone pick more than 3?
Team Tokyo just selected one of the best bird skateboarders on the planet.
Odo
Shibata, owner of 10 X Games medals. And this is an event, Salema, that I think if he wasn't skating in an era with some very heavy names, he might have a half-dozen gold medals to his name. That's how good he is.
I mean, he is technically one of the most wonderful people to watch. He's a favorite on the deck in general.
He made his X Games debut the same year as Jimmy Wilkins. And to watch the back and forth between those two over the years has been so fun to watch. And now, all of a sudden, he's one of the elder statesmen in vert.
It does seem weird to say that name and think of him as an elder statesman, but he's been around for that long. And just to look at his style, the combinations that he brings, he has that technical savvy, but the way that he does everything, it looks amazing. It's so smooth, it's so fluid. It's very Christian Hosoi-esque.
Yes.
And I say that because it's true, but also because he was riding a Hosoi board there at some of those highlights. But kind of a Lester Kasai, Christian Hosoi, kind of a vibe with that technical savvy in there. He's amazing. One of my favorite bird skaters.
All right, we talked about like potentials, right? We got Miharu Ozawa, who has never competed at X Games, 16 years old.
Yeah, I'm excited for this young lady as you see her walk across the red carpet. This may be the only Pixelema, as you said, of an athlete who's never competed at X. But we talk about building towards the future, especially as we get into these later rounds. I really like this pick because you're thinking beyond the scope of the here and now, and this is something you have an eye towards the future.
This one's going to be wild because with Women's Park on the roster for BMX 3 different times this year, 2025 Bloom BMX Park Rider of the Year winner. First in UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup in Japan. That was her first World Cup win. That just happened in December, securing the overall championship title for season points. I mean, 16 years old, star of the Japanese national team, grew up riding inside basically a skate park inside an abandoned school gymnasium. You're on a wood floor with a bunch of wood ramps, but going back to something you said earlier, that's just the kind of vibe in Japan. They have schools for this.
I mean, training facilities next to none.
So looking at this roster, one athlete that hasn't been addressed yet is a women's BMXer. So one of those final 2 picks will have to be one of the ladies from the BMX field. And Kokuna Haraki getting picked. I love this selection. Again, another one of those young Japanese rippers. And
got five gold medals in park. That's the most medals actively in the discipline. Like, you know what you're getting.
Just 17 years old, and I think she's really grown up in front of our eyes. We saw her as, I think she was 10, maybe 11, when she made her X Games debut in Minneapolis. And she's grown, her skateboarding has grown, and she's so fun to watch. And I think this is a great pick, and this is someone I could have seen drafted even a round or 2 earlier.
Yeah, I love seeing her just on her Instagram. Like, she goes to town on a skateboard, like really like has the old school fundamentals, great style, and a killer competitor when it comes to park.
A silver medal in both of her Olympic appearances as well. It's like, she's got it.
So we talked about this going through. Obviously, you want to have people that compete in multiple disciplines. We haven't really talked about the point scale when it comes to things here. So you get 100 points if you are the winner at an event. You get 85 for silver, 75 for bronze. So obviously, podium are the big points. 4th is 60, 5th is 50, 6th is 40, and 7th is 30, and everything on down after that is 0. And that was the point I was just going to make, that we saw Bryce in the background.
Salema is absolutely pumped. Bryce Wetstein was a name that came up almost immediately.
I have been banging the Bryce Wetstein like drum.
Not because of her threat necessarily to win gold, but because of how good and consistent she is off the tail of what Jimmy just explained.
Exactly what Jimmy just explained about 1 through 8 and those points, and then they pick Bryce because this young woman who is just, she is a ferocious competitor. Don't let the butterflies and the flowers fool you. She is just misconsistent in both vert and in park. Best dressed.
Without a doubt. She's got, from Encinitas, 2 bronze medals across 10 X Games appearances. So you might, at first blush, you go, well, not a ton of podium finishes. But when I tell you top 5, look no further.
4, 5, 6, you're getting points. And also, she plays ukulele. She's going to be making up team songs 24/7. Morale is going to be so high because she's just sprinkling fairy dust of awesome on Team New York. She's like, if she lived in New York, she'd probably come from the Lower East Side or the Village. Like, great job, Steve Rodriguez. Bro, New York is stacked.
Yeah, New York's killing it. I have to believe that she was probably on Hayes' list too, just knowing how much she represents Southern California. I bet Hayes is going, damn.
Oh, for sure.
I was looking for her.
Steve Rodriguez looks like a superhero right now.
Yeah, her energy, her voice in the room. Like, if there's, if things are going south, she'll, like, what a person to stand there, give you the pep talk.
She's gonna walk up to Nigel and be like, Nigel, let me just sprinkle some dust on you.
You're having a bad day. The first 2 runs didn't work out.
Fine.
You got 1 more to go. Let Bryce have a conversation with you. Let me take you to Bryce Land. Let me get you in her mindset right now. Have a seat. Tell me what's wrong.
So good.
Congratulations, Bryce.
Another big pick just came in, Gabriela Mazzetto.
Yeah, Gabriela Mazzetto only has 3 X Games appearances. Interestingly, she made her debut back in 2015 at X Games Austin. This is a really amazing, she's got an amazing story. We saw her take 7th at Chiba in 2022, 9 months after the birth of her daughter, Liz. She's a really fun talent. We haven't necessarily seen it with the contest finishes, but again, I just think this is a really solid pick at this point in the draft.
3rd at the Brazilian Nationals in 2023 and just followed that up again in 2025.
All right, we're taking a look at the board here as we are finishing round 4. Again, I think far and away Team New York is leading this. We'll get into the nuances of all the teams. But it's a party tonight here as we are making X Games history here at the MoonPay X Games League. DJ Naka on the 1s and 2s. We'll be back.
To begin round 5, New York is on the clock.
Welcome back to the MoonPay X Games League inaugural draft. One of my favorite things about MoonPay is the fact that the signing bonus for each athlete that gets picked up today, $2,500 from MoonPay. Just thanks for coming out. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, I actually read earlier that you can use that like a debit card anywhere that accepts.
Yeah, touchless pay.
Yeah, touchless pay. That works anywhere.
I'm just saying, like, we're here.
You know, I actually asked to meet with their executive team, and they said, "Don't call us."
Asking you might receive.
But it is so awesome just to see that, and we'll talk about it, the myriad of ways in which the athletes are being supported financially, salary, insurance, not to mention competing for $500,000 for the winning team will split $500,000 for this X Games League championship as Tate Carew has just been picked.
Yeah. This is a really solid pick. Tate Carew, a bronze in Osaka 2025. Really good in vert and park, and I feel like Tate's another one of those guys that maybe has been a little bit on the back end of the finishes, but is starting to put it together. He's now on Birdhouse. Things seem to be clicking for him in the last year, and I think his best comp finishes are well in front of him, Salami.
Yeah, he's really been putting in you love to see those people who like are just consistently putting in the work.
Yeah.
And they have those flashes, might not be able to put it fully together for a podium run, but you're like, they're almost there. Tony Hawk, obviously putting him on Birdhouse, that's a huge endorsement of what they see the possibility is. As Amy.
I am with Bryce. The vibe is all time. Bryce, congratulations. You've just been drafted. What's going on?
I feel pretty, it's just all kind of hitting very fast. Like, wow, this is incredible. And I feel like nervous, excited, and just completely like emotional because X Games has always meant so much to me. So it's just very pure emotion right now.
We love pure emotion here at X Games, and I believe you've got a little something special for us today because you've brought a friend with you.
I brought a friend. I feel crazy that the TV's right there, but yeah.
Please do the honor. And this is what is so magic about X Games and X Games League. We celebrate creativity, we celebrate passion, we celebrate adrenaline. Have it away.
Okay. I'll try to sing. 1, 2, 3. X Games is awesome. Here we are today. Dancing and singing and moving and grooving. The beat of life is awesome today. I know it's not hard to do the things that you love, but trust your soul and intuition and you'll find peace like two doves. Thank you, X Games.
Bryce, that was so special. We absolutely loved it. Thank you so much.
This is why I have been pounding my feet and fists and saying the most important pick in X Games League is Bryce Westsy.
What a freestyle!
And not just off the dome. Like, she does that all day.
Just fire that one off the cuff when the cameras are rolling. If you don't know about Bryce, now you know if you're watching at home.
Hey, while we were being serenaded, Deshaun got selected by
Deshaun Jordan got selected. Let's go! And what a perfect pick for LA!
I totally agree, and I'm really excited. I love to watch him skate, and he's as good as it gets in street skateboarding.
Deshaun Jordan is like, if a wide receiver was a street skater, if an elite wide receiver was a street skater, that's Deshaun Jordan.
And much like Bryce, an accomplished musician as well.
He will definitely. He's got rap albums, doing it. I mean, maybe they'll just have a music off at some point. I'm not sure, but he's just like so powerful.
I mean, a gold, 2 silvers, and a bronze across 13 X Games appearances. Nobody's got a better laser flip in skateboarding.
That's street gold, not too far removed. X Games 2021.
Yeah, Deshaun is a special talent, and also Hayes talked about it with Team LA. I want ambassadors. I want athletes that are going to be proud to not only don the jersey, but be members of this team. Deshaun, much like KP, Kevin Peraza, always has a big smile on his face. The positive energy is very real with him. I think he's a perfect addition to Team LA.
Yeah, she said she wanted results, but she also wanted a vibe. She wanted that unity, and she wanted everyone to rally around the cause and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, that's the perfect LA vibe check, Deshaun Jordan. We've only got about, I think, maybe 5 more picks left.
Luigi Cini coming off the board for Team Sao Paulo, I believe. Just one X Games start. You got to go back to 2019, Salema and Jimmy, when he didn't get a podium finish at just 17 years old. So very interesting selection there from Sao Paulo as we look at the team so far.
It's funny because Bob Burnquist told us he didn't think he was going to go very Brazil heavy. But he's gone pretty Brazil heavy.
But, I mean, what can you say? To get Guy, R. Willie, and Sky Brown within the first couple of rounds is, that's extraordinary picking right there.
I would say Bob knows something that we don't and has seen something potential-wise. Again, as we talked about earlier, like these skaters, especially being able to have Bob, he's the only player coach.
That's a really good point.
He's the only manager in this lineup that is actually going to be able to like help you skate better. Like come out to the compound and skate with Uncle Bob.
Let's talk about the strategy of that. How many times have you seen that guy have a bad run, 1 and 2 times out, and then he comes back down and out, third and final run, and just completely cleans all that out of his memory bank, and then when it's on the line, it just lays it out and disappoints everyone with a walk-off gold.
And that's something he can transfer into these young athletes because he talked about
energy,
right, and how he would smile even after a bad run, and that would like help him to like wash out and cancel, what happened, and then go out and win the contest, as we just had a pick in.
Sao Paulo follows that up with the monster athlete, Raika Ventura. Really excited. This young 19-year-old is so fun to watch, and I think her best days are in front. What I really like about, pulling the curtain back, this is what Bob told us yesterday, is I'm really more focused on the first 2 rounds to see how the draft board shakes out, because I know and believe I can identify the talent in the later rounds that may be less obvious to the rest of the GM.
Yeah, he specifically said, I've got my eye on a bunch of talent that people are not aware of, that they won't be looking for. Raisa clearly is one of those.
She's from Sao Paulo. I mean, this is as good as it gets as far as hometown picks are concerned.
Amy, what's the vibe check here as we're on the deep end here of the 5th round?
I mean, you wanted a vibe check. I have come and found the vibiest checkers of vibes in the whole arena. Katia Jones and Alexis Moore, first time at X Games. How are you finding it?
Can I just put this into perspective? I am Amy's best friend. This is my first time in this extreme sports environment. Alexis and I are both ballroom dancers, and the atmosphere has been phenomenal, hasn't it? What I'm learning is this is the place to be. Alexis, this is your hometown.
Alexis, we're in Los Angeles. X Games League is launching here tonight. It's your first experience.
It is. First experience with X Games, first experience here. The energy is insane. I love it. The vibes are vibing. The monster drinks taste extra special tonight. But it's so exciting because this is a new chapter for so many of these professional athletes. And it just makes me so excited and thrilled for like this new adventure ahead of them. And
I know that a few X Games athletes have done Dancing with the Stars before. So me and Alexis here actually scoping out who's the next one.
Guys, thanks for the vibe check.
I believe that both of those women are like professional dancers from Dancing with the Stars, out here checking the vibes at X Games.
The draft is bringing out everybody. Hey, Yumeko Oda just got drafted. Love this pick. She went toe-to-toe with Chloe last year, had to settle for silver. Got a silver and a bronze last year.
I believe that leaves us with maybe one
more announced, and there's
Did I
one
just
more
hear
after
Mia
that.
Kretzer's name?
I believe so.
That's a great pick. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. There's a look.
Who's
with
on the
Mia
clock?
Kretzer getting selected, I think there's New York.
This is it. New York, this will be the last
pick.
They got to pick first, and they get to pick last.
You know, in the NFL draft, they always call that last pick Mr. Irrelevant, the Brock Purdy pick.
Right.
So, we talked about Chloe Covell and being 1-1. There's some pride in being that very last pick in the draft, because I'll tell you guys, there are some names that are still hanging out there in the green room.
JD Sanchez is still out there.
I mean, let's talk about that. You're going to have a waiver wire out there.
Yes, good point.
How this works, you can't drop people, you can't bench people, you can't trade people this opening year. We talked about this earlier with some of these picks. The earlier picks are going to be multi-year people to your team. However, there's the injury factor. So if somebody gets hurt, then you can bench them temporarily until they're ready to come back to the lineup. Then you can go pick somebody out of the lineup. And if you are drafted off that waiver wire, you automatically get a prize pay. You only get a cash payout right there just for stepping into the fray. I believe it's $2,000.
Yeah, $2,000 if you come off of waivers if someone is injured. And I think for some of these athletes who feel like they should be on a team, they're going to be...
You said it earlier. It's a chip on the shoulder.
They're going to show up at X Games being like...
Well, just because you don't have the jersey doesn't mean you're not competing.
Final pick is coming in. Who's it going to be at the first ever MoonPay X Games League draft?
Oh, wow.
Haley Servio rounds it out.
Skateboard talent just overflowing for
That's a
Team
great
New York.
call.
Our gold medalist in Park at SLC last summer.
2 medals in 2 appearances, 1 bronze and 1 gold. I'm a little surprised she's still sitting out there, to be honest with you.
I am blown away by that, but of course Team New York had to be the one to figure that out.
We are going to try and digest everything that took place tonight and make sense of who the winners were. So stay with us here as we bring this incredible historical night in action sports and X Games to a close here at the first ever MoonPay X Games League draft. The MoonPay X Games League draft has been brought to you by MoonPay, the official payment platform of the MoonPay X Games League. High noon, sun's up, Kraken rum, release the Kraken. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. Well, there you're looking at it, history. 40 athletes comprising these 4 X Games League clubs. And right now, Amy Fuller is with a couple of our happy managers.
I am in prime position with the general managers. Now, we got New York, we've got LA. Team New York, we spoke a lot about the spirit. Does your team truly embody the spirit of New York?
Hell yeah, my team 100% embodies the spirit of New York. I cannot wait to get them together, see them perform, and see them exude that spirit.
Exuding spirit. Now talk to me about Los Angeles, because in terms of tactics, are we happy with the team? There's a little bit of beef going on here, and I quite like it. Competitive energy.
Well, the birthplace of action sports, we have this multi-generational, amazing team. Steve and I have this East Coast, West Coast thing going on, and it is just the beginning of a long, exciting season.
A long, exciting season is going to be just that. What's your plans moving forward? Now you've got all of that team sealed and secured. How are you going to look after them?
Gonna mold them, gonna get them together, and I'm gonna let them be themselves. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the reason we picked a lot of them is for what they brought to the table already. So just kind of let them do what they do. And, you know, they're going to be an amazing team. They're all performers, and I'm psyched to see it unfold.
Isn't it beautiful? That is the power of action sports. It's the freedom, the creativity, and we've heard it here from our team managers. That is what action sports is at its core, and we are going to see a lot of that here at X Games League.
Thank you, Amy. I love the East Coast, West Coast vibes of it. I'm sorry, but like New York, they're laughing. Look at this team, Chloe Covell.
This is an A+ squad.
Hannah Roberts, Nyjah Houston, like right off the bat, you've got like, those are franchise players. Hannah Roberts, franchise player.
All three of their BMXers. I mean, like Daniel Sandoval and Logan Martin right there. Bryce getting picked one of the latter rounds there. The consistency that we talked about is very valuable at the overall point scale.
And Jean Woo Onodera, a guy who has bested Nyjah Houston, one of the few who's actually done that, is also on this team. So when you talk
I
about
forgot they got Jin Woo.
The best women's BMXer, the best women's street skateboarder, the best men's streetboard skateboarder, two of the best men's BMX. It's just like, it is an embarrassment of riches. I don't, again, now I want to check out the LA roster, but to me, that Team New York, it was as good as it gets.
All right. That being said, you got Tom Shar in LA.
Yeah, this is a really great team. Again, it's not as top-heavy, I think, as Team New York, but across the line, there's great variety. And as we've been harping all night, the ability to score points across the board, I think Team LA really embodies that.
You've got a consistent medalist in Paris Menegas in women's BMX park, and then we talked about Brady Baker's story, back-to-back BMX dirt gold medals, dirt not being contested, obviously, in Japan, so that'll be a problem for the roster for those guys, but we'll see. I mean, he does have the ability to compete in park best trick. He has competed in park before.
And they did pick up Deshaun Jordan late.
Love that pick.
So for Skate Street, Skate Best Trick, it will be very interesting.
I can't wait once this thing wraps to maybe go grab a beverage with some of the GMs and just say, hey, pull the curtain back.
Take us through a walk.
What happened? How did it unlock and unload the way you thought it was going to? That's what I really want to hear about.
I believe Amy right now is with two more managers.
Sao Paulo to Tokyo, congratulations. Both of your teams are locked, loaded, and sealed. The deal is done. X Games League draft night. Talk to me about your team. Are you chuffed? Did it go the way you wanted it to?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I could have all the athletes that I really wanted to join my team. So happy.
And speaking about the spirit of Tokyo, you wanted a global team. Do you feel you've got that representation?
Yes, yeah, I do. We have Arisa and Kevin and a whole bunch of like a great Japanese athlete, and I'm sure that they're going to be a great harmony all together. So I'm very happy.
A heavy hitting team. Now, Bob, I have to say, I feel like you went rogue. We did have a little chat before, but you threw it all out there. Tell me about your picks.
Well, I mean, you have to improvise because you have a pick, and then if another team picked it, then you have to like find it, and that's what happened, And Harumi was like, she's getting identities that I didn't think she would get, So yeah, no, because it's hard. I don't know what to expect. So I was like, oh, okay, there goes that, and then Ibuki was available. So she's just an amazing skateboarder, and I think that there's so much talent around the world. Japan's got so much talent, so I'm excited that, it's a good team.
Now, you've been here before. You've competed in a multitude of X Games. You spoke about the spirit of your athletes and the competitive energy you wanted them to bring. And you spoke about the smile the athletes bring. How important is that charisma when it comes to professionalism and turning it on?
Well, it's huge because, you're under a lot of pressure. When you're skating and you bail, like say you got your run and then you bail on something that you shouldn't have, instead of being upset, and you are, right? So I've always worked on like, okay, let me smile this out, because then you can get your body flowing in a different way. And then I think that that's important when you're out there, because it's really not the end of the world. At the end of the day, it's just a contest, right? But if you really get intense into it, you can actually miss runs. So Ryan Williams, incredible performer, all out there, his energy. I mean, it's a match, it's so inspiring. So all the guys that I picked, I feel like have that vibe. And gals.
Ladies, gentlemen, Sao Paulo to Tokyo, I want to thank you so much. I am so looking forward to everything that this X Games League presents for action sports. The general managers leading the charge, the spirit, the community. This is X Games League, and I've absolutely loved this evening.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you for really embodying the spirit of this draft with your energy and tapping into that vibe all night long. As we take a look at X Games Sao Paulo, Guy Curry off the bat, really, really strong. To have Guy and R. Willie and Sky Brown, like we're hyping up New York, but like Bob did awesome.
Those were 3 massive picks in a row.
Those first
Sao
3
Paulo.
picks are
bang, bang,
so
bang.
good. And as I said, Ibuki Matsumoto to me was like a dark horse pick that could have even gone earlier. And Bob knows what Bob's doing.
And we forgot about Garrett. We forgot about Garrett Reynolds.
Yeah, we all forgot about Garrett Reynolds.
Listen, he went for the GOAT when it comes to BMX Street, and he got him.
Well, let's look at the Tokyo squad.
I would say,
go ahead, Slim.
No, Harumi, of all 4 managers from our conversations, Harumi executed exactly what she said she was going to do.
She stuck to her draft board, and what I love about this is the 2 names that she mentioned to us right out the gate. If I can walk away with Arissa True and Kevin Peraza, I feel like I did something right. The fact that she got Arissa with her first pick and actually waited, didn't take Kevin second, took Sora Shirai, who's a great pick, but a little surprising in the second round. And then to get Kevin Peraza, I think the best BMX rider out here tonight in the 3rd round, we call that value in this business.
Absolutely.
She said that's what was going to happen. She wanted Arissa True, she wanted Kevin Peraza. That was going to be the base, and then the rest of it, she was going to build around with Japanese athletes. I mean, that's a Japanese heavy lineup, and she did, to your point, exactly what, a little bit later on the KP pick, but she did exactly what she set out to do.
Well, to our left, we welcome in our CEO, Jeremy Bloom. This is your first time in Goodell mode here. your thoughts from what you wanted to what you saw tonight.
I was really looking forward to seeing if these GMs would go national team. You know, how much of them would lean into the Japanese athletes. Hiromi went 7 straight Japanese to complete the draft. But to start off the draft and get Arissa True at number 3, I thought that was a huge value. But I mean, that's somebody that can win you 3 gold medals, a lot of points, and then round out the way she did was really interesting. And then, you know, we saw Bob go 4 straight from Brazil. So we saw a little bit of it, but certainly in those first couple rounds, it doesn't seem like the calculus was nationality at all. It was who is the best person on that pick and who's going to score the most points. And that's one aspect I was really looking forward to seeing, because as you guys know, these sports have been nationalized forever. It's the Brazilian guy versus the U.S. guy, and in this new world, you're skating for LA. Doesn't matter where you're from.
We were talking about it with Harumi yesterday, and we were talking about Kevin Peraza for Tokyo essentially being like their foreign Shohei, right? Who could possibly be the cornerstone. Obviously, Arissa True having a Japanese mother only is going to help. It just makes, as we start to think about all the storytelling and the marketing for these teams.
I mean, Kevin Peraza going to Tokyo, I mean, he's another guy that can win 3 golds.
Yeah.
One of the few out there that can do that, even in the street. He's won a gold in the street before. And so
Won 2 of them.
He won 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at some of these rosters, and you're like, man, I don't know who's going to win. I mean, who won the draft for you guys? I don't know if you guys already talked about that. I'm just curious.
Our A+ grade is Team New York.
Yeah.
It just seems like he executed his philosophy perfectly, and the skateboarding talent is, I think, second to none on the New York team. I am curious, though, 1-1, first pick of first round of the inaugural draft, Chloe Covell going number 1. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, she's obviously exceptionally talented, and the sky is the limit for her. I'm a little surprised. Because there's other athletes that can win more golds than, because they do more events. But, not that surprised, because she's an absolute superstar. She's incredibly marketable, and she's still very young, like a lot of these athletes.
I think from a star power, brand building standpoint, and gold medals, you're guaranteed at least probably at least one medal per X Games with her. I think it's a brilliant pick. At 16 years of age, she's kind of the face for what street skateboarding is. With Raisa out, she makes sense to me as a number one.
And skateboarding street is so popular globally right now. It's certainly having a big moment, has had a big moment. So to tap into that popularity and have one of the biggest, female athletes on the planet in that sport
not only that, the 2 of the first 3 picks, young ladies in skateboarding.
Well, let's talk about the expanded schedule for this year as well.
Yeah,
we've been done in the summer.
We've been talking about season all night long, but for the audience, put in the context what this season is going to look like.
And that's a big part of this league is storytelling, right? Because if you have one event a year, it's really hard to tell a story. It's hard to build rivalries. And it's hard to create more content in the year, right? So now we're doing 3 stops in the summer. So we'll open up at the end of June in Tokyo, in Sacramento. The next week, we're in Tokyo. And then a couple weeks off before the Superdome in New Orleans for the first ever season championship. And, we're excited to see these rivalries build. And we saw here tonight getting teammates for the first time ever, and how magical it can be. If we've all played team sports at some level, maybe middle school, whatever. There's some magic in having teammates. And so it's fun to see that play out. It's fun to see new rivalries be born tonight, and fun to see how fans around the world are going to rally around these 4 teams and these cities and these incredible athletes.
How cool is it to be able to have this draft here at COSM, right next door to SoFi, the legendary LA Forum? Can we start lobbying now for the Intuit Dome for an LA stop?
That place is special.
Intuit Dome is built for X Games, and now that we have, Jeremy, that's my ass.
We're going to take this party to New York, too, as well. I mean, with the team that they built.
For sure.
And the history of the brand, we've never been there. I mean, that's begging for it.
Our event strategy is now led by where we have teams. So you can obviously know where we're trying to get ourselves to. Got to go to the East Coast, got to be in New York somewhere. And then got to get to California here in LA.
Yeah, you didn't know these guys are running logistics now.
Congratulations.
Out.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congrats to all of us.
Great night.
Outstanding.
To the entirety of our staff behind the scenes who have been working tirelessly for months, orchestrating and putting together this league to get all of these athletes on the same page, and their management and sponsors to take a chance, really, for something that's never happened at this level before in action sports culture. Action sports, of course, is about innovation, and here we are innovating this next chapter. Thank you to MoonPay. Thanks for everybody who tuned in to the inaugural MoonPay X Games.
We'll see you in Sacramento.
League draft.
Let's go.
We'll see you guys in Sacramento.